Hello, this video is something I've been meaning to do for a while. This is a vlog of my trip on the motorbike, setting off from here in Yorkshire, going down to Nottingham, then on to Newhaven, then on to mid-France, finishing off in Limoges. We've rented a house there for the week. We're meeting up with some other people there. They're going by car and plane. Me and my pillion, which is my daughter, we are going to go all the way on the bike and then meet up with them at the house, have a week at the house, and then we're going to come back. So I've never done this before. I've been wanting to do it for ages. I've done it in the car before, but never on the bike. So I'm hoping for a different experience. I'll just see what it's like being on the bike. I'm going to be using the ferry that I normally use, so that's the Newhaven to Dieppe, which sets off about 9:30. Should get into Dieppe for about 2-3 in the afternoon, their time. Then we've got about 3 hours till our first night stopover. It's just a little Gites. It's literally a little 2-bedroom place. It looks like I can lock my bike behind a gate, because that's something that you don't have to especially worry about with a car. I'm going to avoid the autoroutes, so the toll roads, but there is still dual carriageways. We're not going to go completely rural and go through all the little tiny villages, because that will just take forever. If I do want to stop on my way, we do pass through a few smaller towns and a few. We go through Orléans. I don't think I'll be stopping there, because that's quite a big city, so I'd just rather get through that, I think, and then stop somewhere either side. So I say it's the first time I've done this. Hopefully we'll enjoy it, and hopefully I'll get to do it again. Morning from France. So the journey so far is that I set off from Yorkshire Wednesday at 10 o'clock. I got to pick up my passenger from near Nottingham. We spent the night in Nottingham and left at 3 o'clock Thursday morning to catch the 9:30 ferry. We got off the ferry at 3 o'clock French time and rode about another 4 hours to get us to here, which is about half an hour away from Orléans, a place called Chateau Galliard, and we stayed in this rather nice Gites. It's alright for one evening. The bike is doing well. We did go through a little bit of rain, but nothing too bad. It's bright and sunny this morning. It's already about 20 degrees. So today we've got another 4 hours to ride to meet up with the rest of the party. We're going to be staying somewhere near Limoges. We had a lovely meal across the road. There was a video of it earlier. It's a truck stop, but a French truck stop, the routière. And we had steak and chips and a beer, and it was lovely. And it was about €11 each, €12 each, with drinks. So we're going to have some breakfast, I've already had coffee, and we'll get some footage on the way today. I didn't film much in England, because it's England, and I'm sure everyone's seen England before. But we'll try and get some, we're not as much in a rush today, it's not really deadlines today. So we should get some good footage today. See you soon. So we made it. We set off from the Gites at about 11 o'clock. We did 323 kilometres. I think we stopped twice for fuel. Also, altogether from Yorkshire to here, just outside of Limoges, it cost me about 80 quid, roughly, £80, so maybe €100 in fuel. We're quite tired. We were starting to ache on the last hour and a half after the last stop, but she was really comfy for the most part. She sits quite happily at 70, but she will use more fuel. She seems to be the most fuel efficient. I think you'll be getting 45 to 55 maybe miles to the gallon at 60 miles an hour. So now we've met up with friends and I'm going to stay here for the week, and me and my pillion are going to set back off on Friday morning about 9 o'clock. And that's going to be a rough journey because we're going to have to do it all in once with no stops. So we'll check in later in the week. Bye. Hello, so this is Limoges, day 3. It's currently 36 degrees outside. That's outside. It's very, very hot. There's the bike over there. We've had a small change of plan in that I don't think I can cope with setting off from here and riding to Dieppe all in one go, because that would be about 9 or 10 hours with stops. So what we're going to do, we're going to set off from here on Thursday afternoon about between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, and we've booked a place near Artenay where there's restaurants and something we can get something to eat, and then we will set off about 11 o'clock tomorrow, and there should only be maybe 4.5 hours to get us to the ferry, and then we've got the ferry ride, and then about 4 and a bit hours to get us partially way home, so I can drop my pillion off, and then I've got another three hours to get myself home. So we'll do some footage of the journey home. Until that time, I'm going to enjoy the swimming pool. Goodbye. So we're probably going to set off about 3 o'clock France time. We've booked ourselves, initially it was going to be a full journey, I think I said in another video, of about 10 hours, which I think that's, for me anyway, that's too much for me. So we'll split it up, so we're setting off today about 3ish. We've got about 4.5 hours to do, I think. So we'll get to our digs about between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock tonight, which is just a small place we're staying in Rury, just outside Orléans, and then that should leave us with a nice-ish 3.5 hour journey tomorrow, and then we catch the ferry at 6 o'clock French time. We should get back into Britain and off the boat for between 11 and half 11 English time. That means we'll get back to Nottingham for about 2 to 3 in the morning, and then sleep all day Saturday. But it's been good. Lovely place here. We did it sort of as if you were just going on holiday to a place, and we just happened to use a motorbike. I think if I did it again, I would. The ride down to the ferry, you can't do anything about that. So ride down to the ferry, get into France, maybe do a couple of hours, stop for a good hour or two, have some lunch, then ride a couple more hours in the afternoon and find your first place to stay for a night, and do it more like a tour. I mean, if it wasn't so expensive on the ferry, I'd get an English ferry, then go down the entire length of France into Spain, and then get the ferry from Bilbao back to Portsmouth, and then ride back home from there. I think that would be a really good tour. It would cost with staying in a different place every night. You could self-cater, which is always the cheapest way, even though French restaurants are amazing. But the other night when we had steak and chips, which was lovely, and a beer, it was 32 euros, I think, which is really good for 2 lots of steak, don't get me wrong. But if you're doing that every night, it would stack up a bit. So I think if I did it again, then I'd do it more as a tour, whichever country you're in. But I have really enjoyed it. I'm not looking forward, if I'm honest, I'm not that looking forward to the journey home so much, because it's a journey home and we've already done it, so I know how long it is. I'm really glad we're breaking it up. So I'll see you in Nottingham at 3 in the morning, because I'm putting this camera away now. We'll just film some bits on our phone, I think. Ready to be ridden back. So here's my passenger, packing the bike.